Perfect. So hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, depending on which side of the pond you're located. So I'm Matthias Bijens, and in the following presentation, I'm providing you an overview of scalable and secure high-performance cloud computing architectures. So pharma and biotech are changing gears. Predictionist models are replaced by system models based on massive amounts of data. By integrating different data dimensions, we can, for example, model complex phenotypes and more. We place disease mutations, genes, transcripts, and more in biological context, which help us to identify the best data points for assessing disease risk and therapeutic intervention. However, biologists are generating data on a scale that is outpacing our ability to perform even the simplest analysis. Sequencing from whole genomes to thousands of single cells to imaging data of thousands of histological tissue slices are all growing at a phenomenal rate. Analyzing those data and integrating them to form a more complete picture of biology will require access to large-scale and affordable computing. But first, let's look at the type of computational challenges currently facing big data researchers. As an example, let's imagine a genetics lab trying to identify cell populations and associated dysfunctional gene regulations involved in the progression of disease, diabetes type 2 via a single-cell transcriptomics study. They will identify transcripts in the RNA sequences for several thousands of individuals with type 2 diabetes and their controls. In this scenario, each individual generates tens or even hundreds of gigabytes of raw data. The problem occurs once researchers wish to analyze and integrate their information about transcripts with known pancreatic cell compendia into cell identities and differential expressed transcripts. A uniform manifold approximation and projection, for example, shows how transcripts and cell populations may causally be related to another to produce a type 2 diabetes phenotype. And this is where they encounter another computational bottleneck. For only limited transcripts and cells, the number of possible combinations would be trivial. But the number of possible combinations skyrockets to 10 to the 18th power, and transcripts and cell amounts get bigger. The computational power needed to tackle these analyses grow exponentially. The resulting long computational latencies can severely slow down research or even diagnosis in clinical settings. Over the past several years, major innovations have provided scientists with more effective and cost-efficient methods for high-performance computing systems. Such one is cloud computation. Cloud solutions make data and computational resources available to departments, a whole company, or even external collaborations. Of course, you should be aware of the difference between on-premises and cloud-based computing to make a better decision. When it comes to scalability, you pay more for an on-premises setup and you also have lesser options. Once you scale up, it's often difficult to scale down again and often leads to heavy losses in terms of infrastructure and maintenance costs. Cloud, on the other hand, allows you to pay only for what you use and easily scales up and down if required. Next, data storage. On-premise systems need a lot of space for their service, power, and maintenance. On the other hand, cloud providers take care of this by their own cloud storage solutions, so you save on maintenance, time, and hardware material. Then we have data security. On-premise systems offer less data security thanks to a complicated combination of physical and traditional IT security measures, whereas cloud computing offers much better security if set up correctly and lets you avoid having constantly monitor or managed security protocols. In the event that data loss occurs, the chance of full data recovery on on-premise setups is very small. In contrast to cloud computing systems, they have more robust disaster recovery measures in place to ensure faster and easier data recovery. And finally, we have maintenance on-premise systems also require additional team for hardware and software maintenance, loading up the costs by a considerable degree. Cloud computing systems, on the other hand, are maintained by the cloud providers, reducing costs and resource allocation substantially. I have selected 2 example projects where these global teams combine their biological knowledge and cloud expertise within cloud solutions. My first example is OP², our online pipeline platform, which shows our capabilities as a company. And this online user-friendly, secure, and scalable platform offers scientists the possibility to analyze omic data sets with the ease of a few clicks without any prior bioinformatics or cloud knowledge and expertise. The software as a service framework has been developed by our multidisciplinary team. Our cloud engineers built and deployed a serverless, instant, scalable, and data secure environment for compute and storage. Our biology and omics domain experts consolidated their NGS, next generation sequencing knowledge, into scalable pipelines that follow the latest changes in the field. On the other hand, our application developers created interactive insight reports of the complex data built on a clear user interface. My second showcase is the cloud infrastructure we have set up for a university hospital. The request was clear. Move their clinical whole exome sequencing pipeline to the cloud. We migrated their logic to the cloud environment they selected. The environment auto-scaled up and down depending on the sample load and the urgency for diagnosis. We have optimized their sequence pipeline and applied code versioning. We built a highly secured Bastion cloud environment within their private subnet and applied data lifecycle policies for cost-efficient, long-term data storage. Within the current setup, the hospital only pays for what they use, and they have reached a 4 times faster sample turnaround at lower costs. Now, I would like to address 3 popular, frequently asked questions about cloud computing I get during my project scoping meetings with our clients. The first one is, how is data security handled in the cloud? Virtual machine instances behave the same as physical machines. It is up to the user to restrict access to the machine using firewall and encryption settings. Open ports should be limited to those necessary for function, and all data and communication should be encrypted. This is also a responsibility that this takes up during the project. The second one is, how is data transfer handled in the cloud? Data transfer speeds are limited by the speeds of the internet connection between you, the user, and the cloud service, of course. As such, transferring large amounts of data might be troublesome. And for this purpose, cloud providers offer solutions for a fast, direct connection to their compute resource. And thirdly, does data persist in the cloud? Cloud data is stored on a network storage system. The user's virtual machines pull stored data from this system and write results there as well, while data placed on or generated by virtual machine image only persists for the lifetime of that instance on the network storage system. And also for this, we have multiple cloud services we can implement in your cloud environment. This concludes my presentation.